being said, my number one candidate, and I don't understand why this isn't the number one candidate on everybody's list who's looking for a new head coach, is Luke Walton from the Golden State Warriors. Are you kidding me? Former player, check, got that angle, won championships, comes from lineage and legacy in the game with his father, Bill, obviously. Coaching ring, has a championship ring as a coach on the Golden State Warriors from last year. Took over and head coached the team for like the first 30 games or so of this season, where they were pretty much undefeated for almost all of that. Like, I think they only lost 1 or 2 games under Walton's tenure, and he had like a good 30 games or so before Kirk came in this season and coached. So, to me, Luke Walton, like, that's the guy. Like, that's the new, like, we've got these new gen players, and they're young. Let's give them a new gen, young, talented coach. You know, not the old freaking, not the old school. I think this team needs a new school coach, and to go along with their new school talent and abilities. And I think that Luke Walton is the absolute perfect guy for it. Tell me one thing that he doesn't have on his resume other than actual head coaching experience, that you want. Yeah, well, but he kind of does have actual head coaching experience because he did it on an interim basis this year. I don't know. Anyway, that's my candidate. But we got to move on from the T-Wolves, get some other NBA in quick. The Warriors let's save that. The Spurs, let's save that. Kobe plays his last game tonight. As I said, Happy Mamba Day, as Nike declared the international new holiday, because for some reason now they have the ability to do that. Yeah, go figure. But so everybody's been butt kissing Kobe. It's ridiculous. Like, it's beyond butt kissing. It's like a butt kiss with a reach around. Just insane. I can't help but feel like people are trying to make up for other athletes that they've, admired in the past that they didn't have this opportunity for, and so he's kind of getting some other people's, past type of adoration or something. I don't know. Don't get me wrong, Kobe had an amazing career and was an all-time great basketball player. I'm not going to Kobe hate that much just because I don't care for the guy, per se. But he was and is an exceptional basketball player. He will play his final game tonight. Check it out if you care to. I'm busy, so but figured you'd want to know. Well, let's take a quick look at the playoff picture out east, real quick, kind of randomly, where the Cavaliers clinched the number 1 seed. Raptors will be the number 2 seed, not far behind the Cavs. They're only 2 games behind them. Might end up 1 game behind them. We'll see. But then in a tight race, it's all neck and neck, with the Heat and the Hawks tied at the exact same record for the 3 seed. Looks like the Heat have the tiebreaker there, and then 1 game behind both of them, still in contention probably for the 3 seed then as well, maybe, depending on tiebreakers, would be the Celtics and the Hornets. So all kinds of stuff still to be determined there. The 7 seed is almost for certainly the Pacers, unless they drop to the 8 seed, in which case the Pistons would have to make up their 1 game difference on there. The Bulls and Wizards are out of the playoffs. Ha ha, Chicago fans. Now let's move out to the Western Conference picture, and we'll start at the bottom there, where after a big win the other night against the T-Wolves, the Houston Rockets find themselves holding the tiebreaker for the 8th and final playoff spot in the Western Conference with 1 game to go. They have the exact same record as the Utah Jazz. So it looks like if the Rockets win, they're in. If the Rockets lose and the Jazz lose, they're in. If the Jazz win and the Rockets lose, the Jazz are in. And then the Mavericks are either going to, right now they're the 7 seed, but they could possibly move up to the 6 seed with a win and a Grizzlies loss, or they would actually with a win and a Grizzlies loss. Grizzlies play the Warriors, so that is very possible. We'll get to that in a moment. Trailblazers a half a game of the Grizzlies for that 5 spot. So maybe the Mavericks could even jump all the way up from the 7 to the 5 spot, possibly, with them winning and the Blazers losing in addition to the Grizzlies. Or maybe they'll have the tiebreaker on the Grizzlies. I don't know, because they're a half a game out. The Grizzlies got 2 games left. What the heck? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, the Grizzlies must be playing the Clippers then, I'm guessing. 70, 80. Yep. Clippers firmly in the 4 seed. Thunder in the 3 seed. Spurs in the 2 seed, losing their first and only home game of the year the other night to the Golden State Warriors. Golden State Warriors in the process win their 72nd game of the regular season, tying the Bulls record for most all time, and they have 1 game remaining, and that is against the Memphis Grizzlies, who are injured and reeling and backing into the playoffs, and look for the Warriors to get win number 73 and break the all-time record. And that brings us into our balls deep thought of the day, which we'll have to squeeze in here real quick because it was supposed to be 60 minutes, and gosh darn it, it's like 66 minutes now. And since we're a little over time, I'm going to make it short and sweet, like I said. So, Balls Deep Thought of the Day this week is yours truly weighing in on actually a fairly popular Balls Deep sports topic thought going around the sports world and sports minds and fans these days. And that is the topic regarding this year's Golden State Warriors, who just tied, as I mentioned, and are going to potentially break here in their final game the all-time record for most wins in a season set by the 95-96 Chicago Bulls, led by Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, all those great guys. Now, the question has come up recently all over via Scottie Pippen and, sports media people on ESPN and, what have yous, of who would win in the theoretical dream match between these 2 teams. And so that is our Balls Deep Thought of the day. Who would win? And to make it short and sweet, I'll get right to the point with it. First and foremost, there's something that needs to be established and agreed upon before you answer this question is, under what circumstances is this, are we playing a series? If we're doing a best of 7 series, I assume, we'll do a best of 7 series, like for the all-time championship of great teams, best of 7 series. And since the Warriors are going to break the record, we'll give them home court advantage. They deserve to host it, I think. But we need to establish under what, era's rules and play of basketball this series is being held under. Because if it's being played in 95-96 under that, structure of officiating and gameplay, I think the Bulls win and the Bulls sweep. Maybe the Warriors get a win. But Bulls in 4, at most 5. But I'll go Bulls in a sweep there. Because there's no way that the Warriors would be able to run the way they want to, with the Bulls being able to impose a more physical nature under a different, kind of set of rules and gameplay. I don't think it'd even be close. And you got Michael Jordan. He's still the best player, in the whole series. Michael Jordan's better than Steph Curry. Sorry, Steph Curry fans. Hate to break it to you. Steph Curry's amazing. He's super duper fun to watch. But Jordan was better. Now, if we're playing the game, or series I should say, today, I think then it's a lot more interesting and a lot closer. And I think then, I think it's going to 6 or 7 games, and I think the Bulls still win. And I think it's super close and a phenomenal back-and-forth series. A lot of game winners, and maybe even game losers by Jordan and Curry and some of the role players, Pippen, Thompson, all that stuff. But I think no matter what, ultimately the Bulls win. But to really, to really give it a fair assessment, and not just say your favorite team and why you like them more, you need to have some ground rules set, for your argument. But so that's our Balls Deep Thought for the day. That's our show for the day. and the week. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, you weren't going to get nothing, but you got this. So thanks for tuning in. As always, make sure to check back next week. We'll probably have a more normal show then. Until then, have a great week and a great weekend. Be safe. Be happy. Sure, why not? And I'm out. Peace.